the, how do I want to say this? The level of petty, yes, the level of petty that you all brought to the question I asked in the last episode for a giveaway, chef's kiss. I have been crying from laughing for the past 2 weeks. Y'all showed up and showed out. The great debate over candy corn versus circus peanuts, it's one for the books. If you are not a member of the group over on Ravelry, if like Ravelry is accessible to you and you're not a member of the group for this podcast, you should definitely go over there, Piece4PeaceCrafting podcast group in Ravelry, and just, I'm gonna leave it up. Please go through and read people's comments on if they would rather have candy corn or circus peanuts. Y'all, I'm crying. I'm crying. It was, oh my gosh, it's so funny. It's so funny. Yeah, so that's been a good time. So let's get into it. I think this is take 29? I'm gonna say 29. If it's wrong, you'll read it in the thing. Take 29. What's good, peacemakers? Welcome back to another episode of the Piece for Peace Crafting podcast. I'm Michael, and this is my yarny corner of the YouTube verse. If you would like to find me on any other social media, you can find me on Instagram as Piece for Peace Crafting. On Ravelry, I'm Piece for Peace Craft. And if you like music, you can join our collaborative Spotify playlist over on Spotify. And that's the Piece for Peace Crafting podcast playlist. Long title, I know, but that's what it is. I think that's all the places you can find me. I forget. And I've been doing this kind of, not for a long time, for a little bit, for a pinch. So those are all the places you can find me. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. If you are new, hello. And actually there are some new folks who have started subscribing since the last episode. So thank you, welcome. We're happy to have you here. And if you are watching this for the first time, you're enjoying the content or my ridiculousness, or you just need a laugh, go ahead and click subscribe. Costs you nothing, helps build our little community that we have going on here. And yeah, I think that's sort of kind of it. All right, so I have a little bit to talk to you all about today, or talk with you all about. Already starting off a little bit of a mess. Have a little bit to talk to you all about today, and yeah, I'm super excited to show some stuff, some things I finished, some things I'm working on. A little catch up, I guess. In true Chicago fashion, it went from like, let's say the 60s to, boy, you better go back in the house and put on all the clothes. Like 35 in the mornings, but then like warming up to like the mid 40s, 50s. I think it's supposed to go back into the 60s this week, which is like, thanks fall here in Chicago. So it's been nice leaving the house, throwing on some hand knits. I have something on my eyelash, you all. I'm so sorry. I can't focus on you. I have to focus on this. Otherwise, it's gonna make me go crazy. Okay, so the weather's been crazy. It's been really nice putting on all of the knits. Love that for me. For you too, if it's cool where you are. Nonstop going, working. Like, even working the weekends. It's been crazy, but good. I did do two fun things that, like, weren't work related. One is last night, so I'm recording this on Saturday. So last night, Friday night, one of my roommate's mom is here. Oh, remember when I made the Fantastitch for my mom's friend? Well, she's in town and she's wearing it, which is so awesome to like see it. Like when I saw her, I was like, oh my gosh, that looks awesome. So she's in town, and so there is a show that's having like a pre-Broadway engagement here in Chicago. So like shout out to living in a big city that like preview stuff before it goes to Broadway. I love that because we get to see some stuff like pre-editing phase, you know, like by the time it gets to New York, they're like, okay, this song's cut, this part's gonna be a little bit different. The show's just more tightened up. So we went to go see the show, Paradise Square. It's a musical, very good. Hadn't seen a musical in forever, so that was fun to just like go sit in a theater, masked up, and watch people just scream at you in a good way for whatever, 3 hours or something. I was telling my roommates, like, I miss being in that atmosphere and just like a whole chorus of people like walking to the front of the stage, just like yelling at the top of their lungs at me. I love that. So it was good. I won't get into the story. You can look it up. It's called Paradise Square. Takes place in like 18 something. It's like right before the Columbian Exposition here in Chicago. So like whatever date that is, I can't remember off the top of my head. The World's Fair. And so it's like set in New York during the Civil War. So like a little bit of a heavy topic, but like in an immigrant community. It was great. Loved it. The lead, I wish I remembered her name, but she was incredible. I have to go look at my program. So that was one fun thing. And then two, last weekend, I went to go and see Sylvan Esso, who I've definitely recommended on this channel before, but they were playing here in Chicago, you know, bring your card, wear a mask the whole time, sort of event. And it was incredible. It was like, I went with one of my friends and I was just saying like, it was kind of a cathartic experience, if that makes sense. Like just being in a space with a bunch of people, just like getting to move around and dance to good music. Like I was definitely sore the next day because I went a little bit wild, just like, I won't even get into it, dancing around to their music. And they played such a great show and the opener was really good. And so like, I don't know, I feel like it was something that like I didn't know I needed, but then once it was happening, like literally while it was happening, I was like, oh, this is what I needed. This is what I've been missing. This is amazing. So those were two like big things that like I went out in the world and like did by choosing, not by being told, you need to go and do this because this is how you collect your coins. So that's been kind of fun. Other than that, had a little bit of crafting time. Work has been really busy, so I've been commuting a lot. So I've been taking stuff on the bus more. I think I talked about that in the last episode. So I'm getting to craft obviously at home, but like now I'm doing it more while I'm commuting too, which is really, really dope. I think that's it. So let's start with something fun, shall we? So in the last episode, you've seen the opening, so you know what's happening. I said I was going to do a little giveaway for my podiversary, which was in October. It's November. And I'm going to give away this fun Fiberpunk self-striping, and it's in the pumpkin spice latte color, and it's 400 meters, and I did the conversion, so that's 437 yards for 100 grams, and it's 75-25 superwash merino nylon, and this fun little project bag that was actually like in a set, and then I split them up. I was gonna keep this, but I'm giving it away because I think this giving me all the autumnal vibes. So the question that I put up in the Ravelry group was, if you had to choose, like you have to choose, would you rather eat candy corn or circus peanuts? Like, to all the people who don't live in America and you've never tried these candies, I am happy / sorry for you, because they are funny and should be tried because they're a mess. But also, like, I definitely grew up eating both of them, so like whatever. But people definitely have strong feelings about it. So the winner is, I just did a random number because I forgot to ask my roommates before they left. So tried and true, random number. And the winner was C.A. Fields over on Ravelry. There was no government name listed, so I can't even like give a government name, but that is the person's Ravelry name. So I will be sending out a message to you. Sorry, I can't, my brain. I could be sending out a message to you later on today. If you could just get back to me with your government name and an address that I can send it to, I will definitely get these two fun things out to you as soon as possible. So that's fun. Love putting stuff in the mail for people. Also, all the people who I sent stuff out to for the shelved piece mail, got all of their stuff. I can't remember if that was in the last episode or this is supposed to talk about it now. I don't remember. Either way, they've gotten all their stuff. Some patterns were sent out from Caleb of Drowning in Yarn, which is really dope. So thanks everyone for playing along and participating. And I think that's all the like fun admin-y stuff. 75 minutes in. So let's get into some... I a little bit wanted to go in reverse today, but I'm not going to. Let's talk about some FOs, shall we? We shall. All right, first up, how do I want to show these? I finished, what? I mean, they were practically almost done last time I showed them. My first pair of toe up socks. Ooh, can you even? They're so cute. They don't match, they're cousins, and that's okay. So I did 72 stitches on a US 1 2.25. I did Judy's Magic Cast-On, Cheryl's Foot, Rebecca's Heel, and Debbie's Leg. No, I'm just kidding. They're just a pair of vanilla socks that I did and then put some waist yarn in so that I can add an afterthought heel afterwards. And then, I'm so sorry, I meant to post it in the last episode, but I'll definitely post it in this one. And I can't remember the person's name, but I can take this off. So I know people talk about like, I don't know, somebody stretchy bind off, another J name probably, and how it flares out. So these ones are a little bit floppy and it doesn't. And so for me, the flaring isn't so much like the look of when they're off the sock blocker or just like chilling. It's like I like the top of my sock to like hold on to my leg, if that makes sense. Like I need it to be a little bit tighter because I do. Like I move around a lot and yeah, just my legs are always working. So I feel like if they're not, they slide down and me no likey. So I just did a vanilla sock and then, I don't know, 15 rows of ribbing at the top. And then I went back in and did an afterthought heel for them. Now, if you look, I can put this back. Oh, and I used KnitPicks Felici in the colorway Game Over. So much fun. And actually, it's so funny because like I was working on these around a few friends, like obviously my roommates and a couple friends at work. And they were just like, oh my gosh, the color. And I was like, oh, I mean, yeah, they're dope, but like I didn't realize people would be so into them. So the heels are different. One just has like the blue. The other one got a little bit of the dark one on it. It's fine for me. I will say, ooh, these holes ain't loyal. I was mad about it. Yes, I know I could just take some leftover yarn and close up the hole, and I did. because it was worse. Because, okay, so I find that if I just put in waste yarn when I'm going to do my afterthought heel, I don't have the extra threads on the on opposite ends of like if I go and cut my yarn and then unravel it. So like if you do that, then you have the two from the cut, yeah, one on each side, and then one from like casting on to do the heel, right? So I think the next time I do it, one, I have to make sure I have stitch markers in my bag, and two, which why I didn't, only who knows, and two, just cut it and not do the waste yarn. But it's all good. They're for me. If it annoys me enough, like I'll go back in and just fix them. But for right now, they're fine. Absolutely love how these turned out, and now I'm happy that I've shown you because now I can wear them. Super excited about that. So that is finished object 1. Finished object 2. You all, I just finished this morning, like the last little stripe. So it hasn't been blocked and the ends aren't woven in, but like I always show you all things and the ends aren't woven in. So like that's fine. I'm not worried about that. So after I show it, if people are like, oh, I would love to see what it looks like blocked, just like leave it in the comments and then I can always bring it back next week and just be like, here it is blocked, but not really talk about it. You know what I mean? All right. So this is the Stephen West MKAL for this year, the Shawlography. And I finished it, which I didn't think that I was going to, kind of, because I've been working so much and like it's the end of a shawl. Like I really didn't want to take it on the bus, but like I did. In the end, I was like, I need to get these stripes just like done. I'm going to take it on the bus with me. So I used all Murky Depths deep sock for this project. And, ooh, let's see if I remember all the colors. I do. So there was Cyan, this reddish, pinkish, fuchsia color is Hothouse Flower. This medium gray is Silvery Moon. The yellow is Zest, and the last color is Touch of Gray. So this is my palette. This was my A, this was my B, that you only needed for a little bit. And then it was kind of not choose your own adventure, because there definitely was like, make sure you do this, otherwise you're gonna run out of yarn. But like, that's all the yarn I had left over. So I have no idea how you could have not had yarn left over, unless you're like really, really loose. So those are my colors. And this is the finished shawl. Are you ready? Shall we have some music? This is my circus shawl. Here's the last stripes. You can't see my eyes, but you can see my mouth. Okay, so really quickly, because we've been through this. Section 1 was this fun little stripes, and I'm even stretching it out some so I know when I block it, oh, I'm gonna live. And these cool little V's, and it's Martin from Knit365. Someone he was watching called these yarn shrimps. They like stand up, they're just a little I-cord. They're fun. That was clue 1. Clue 2 was this fun little section with the welts and the triangles and the bobbles and the wedges. And when I say that took forever, I talked about this last time. It took forever. I feel like people are saying it took forever, and like it did, but also I feel like I was working a bunch. And so like when I get home and I was tired and just trying to work on it, I'd be like, oh God, this is a slog. But like I love it in the end. It's just, I was tired. And then section 3, or clue 3, not section 3, was the brioche section. There was also an option for like to not do brioche, and obviously I did the brioche. And these crosses, which I know you have probably heard people talk about it, They were a pain. I don't know what other way to say it. They were a pain. Like, I went loosely wrapping. Oh, spoiler if you didn't want to see it, but like, it's been a while. October's over. Sorry. Like, I did them loosely. When I went to go and like actually do whatever the technique was, like, I couldn't get it off my needles. It was really bothering me, so I had to I did it on interchangeables. So I took the needle off and just like went from off the cable and used the DPN to slide it back on and then do it. Like, it was the easiest way for me. So that was clue 3, and then clue 4 was this fun striped border. And I have to agree. Also, I haven't blocked it, so I don't really know how. I mean, it's gonna grow, obviously, but like how big it will be. And I kind of agree with Lisa from 72 Stitches, Knit All the Yarn podcast. Like, it's kind of not big. I mean, it's big, but like in comparison to other shawls of his I've done, I was like, oh, okay, that's cute. It's like a good size, but it's not, to me, this isn't like giving like major Schlanket vibes. And I think it's definitely smaller than the one from last year. Also, binding off, look at, oh my God. I'll show you all the ends in a minute. Binding off was dope because you're doing like an applied border the whole time. So like, yes, it took forever because you had to like do all of the striping as you were binding off. But then in the end, it was just like this much, which, okay, that's fine. I can totally do that. I could bang that out really quick instead of doing the whole length of this. Now, the back of this, baby girl. It's giving, oh, well, there's no ends there. Where's the, oh, this side. It's giving ends. I should just make it fringe for days. But I did, how am I doing this? I did weave them in as I went. So after I block it, oh my God, all I'll have to do is, that was horrible. I should just start all over. All I have to do is just go in and snip them. Oh, I'm so sorry, everyone. Bear with me. What is happening in your life? Okay, here's me putting it on. And like, when it's on, I'm not really getting circus. I'm getting, oh my gosh, there's like a lot of fun textures and like cool colors. It's also, this is giving me, I don't know why, I don't even watch racing, like car racing. But this is giving me like race car vibes. I don't know why. But it's like not as crazy as if you're just looking at it. Like, you can see a little bit of everything peeking. And that's cute. These baubles look adorable, just like in the camera. Anyway, as I gush about it, love the colors, obviously, because I picked them. But I do think they really played well together. They danced well together, if you will. And the shawl was fun. Like, some of it was a little bit of a slog, but like, whatever, it's fine. Will I knit this again? Probably not. And like, that's okay, right? There are plenty of people who are like, I never knit the same thing, or I never knit a pattern twice. And I'm just like, okay, well, that's a bit much. But this one, as like a piece of art, I don't, in my current state of mind, I don't really see the need to like do this again. And that's fine. I've made one for myself. I love it. I think I'll be doing them until he decides that he's not doing them anymore, just because I think it's fun. You know, it gives you something to do for the month of October and beyond, depending on how quickly you get it done. So yeah, if you didn't do the pattern and you are seeing it now and you're like, oh, that totally looks like fun, I would recommend it. It's a good time. And like, all the color palettes I've seen work so well together. Like, some people's are really loud like mine, other people who chose like more subdued palette. It's really beautiful and melted together like in a stunning way, especially the border. Like if your colors are more matchy, does that make sense? Like if they fade into one another more, I think that's what I want to say. It looks really beautiful, like a little wave on the end of it. I have been seeing people do like different borders or just like playing around with the border, and that's really fun too. So obviously customizable. Someone put tassels like all along the border. Excuse me. Amazing. I'm living. So that's all of my finished stuff. It's just kind of, I mean, it's a lot because this was a lot. Excuse me. I'm like sounding very raspy all of a sudden. Yeah, I love it. I'm super excited about it, and I can't wait to block it once I'm done recording this. So those are my finished objects, and a couple things that I've been working on. Wait, let me move some stuff around because this is a hot mess. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot to bring one thing in here. I'll save it for next time. I got some piece mail, and it's not in this room with me, and I honestly forgot where I just set it down in my apartment, so I have to go and find it. All right, moving right along. So I showed this before. Y'all, this picture's in black and white, so like, I hope you can really see it. But I'm working on the Botanic Shawl. It was one of my whips, and it's by Stephen West. I cast this on in between clues 1 and 2 because I was like, I need something else to work on. I don't have a lot that I'm working on. So this is this shawl. It's like pretty easy, very mindless. It's really mindless. And the pages are all scrunched up because it's been all this rough rustling of the paper. It's just been in a project bag, which I'm keeping it in this fun French supply bag. All right, I'm using, you all know I love a fingering weight shawl, which by the way, I feel like I need to make a shawl that's not in a fingering weight just because I'm always making one that's in fingering weight. Like, I want to change it up. I think I say that, and that's not going to happen anytime soon. So I'm using this stroll fingering, and the color ash is like my main color. And then my contrast is this drawing room, and it's the chroma fingering. Chroma? Yeah, chroma. And so it's sort of like a single, not sort of, it's a single ply, and it's got like a hand spun sort of feel to it. Oh my God, which now, oh, I don't have enough, which now I should just spin some and do this. So it fades on its own. So that's been really fun. Love that. So here is, oh, do you love this little stitch? This little needle stopper? It's a little peace sign. We love it. Here's where I am with that. So for a minute, this was like, once I finished those socks, this became my like commuter project. Like I would just take it on the bus and pull it out and just work on it on the bus. Oh my gosh, all this stuff is getting tangled. Okay, here we go. What? Can you feel the love tonight? Okay, so here's where I was last time, where this little, can you see that? It's a little skull. I can't remember where I got that from. I think a fiber share partner. So I was down there and I did just that much, which really isn't a lot, but in between working on this, finishing those socks, like taking this on the bus, I'm loving how it's working up. So it like fades from, well, where I started in the ball, it fades from this like really light pink into a darker purple, into the light pink again, and then like fades into these like sea foamy and then tealy greens. And then some grays, which honestly, have the green and this blue in them. Like when I look at them really close, you can kind of see. Yeah, and then now it's going back into some greens. I've been trying to predict like where it's gonna go, like the fade, and I've looked it up online, but it has like two different photos. So like I'm wondering if like this colorway, the drawing room colorway, they like dye it differently sometimes. So I don't know. And in all honesty, it's just been fun watching it stripe up on its own. And I don't really care. So like in what, I don't really care in what order it fades in. That's what I mean. I care that it looks good though. So yeah, I'm digging this. I think it's gonna be really beautiful. I'm about, let me see. I'm 9 repeats in, and I have to do 18. So yeah, we'll just see how that goes. I'll continue on with this. So exciting. Love it, I love it, I love it. This is gonna be a gift. I'm not sure for who yet, but I don't think I'm gonna keep this one. I mean, I may change my mind, but I doubt it. I think this will make a really lovely gift for the holidays. So that's project 1. A little Botanic Shawl. Love it, I love it. Then my second thing that I'm working on is, oh no, I didn't bring the ball band in here. All right, well, I'll figure it out and I'll write it below. So I wound up, it's so bright, holy crap. I wound up one of the skeins of the Fiberpunk yarn that I ordered not too long ago. And I wound it up into one cake, and then I set one of them. Then I set it like on a scale and just wound off 50 grams and like watched the repeats as they went. So I knew to stop a little bit before the repeat would start again, so that I could try to do matching socks. Woof. So I don't remember the color. I'm really sad about it. I want to say it's called Pop, but I'm probably wrong. So I'll write it down below when I link his shop below. Also, everything that I'm talking about, for those that are new, everything is linked below. So feel free to click through. So I started these this morning while we were just all sitting around having tea and coffee, just starting our day. So I'm doing another pair of toe up socks, and this time I'm Yolanda, shout out to Yolanda from Happy Knits. What's up, friend? Sent me like a rounded toe option. I don't remember the woman's name. It's the seamless toe up rounded toe or something, I think is the name of the pattern. It'll be linked. And it's by someone else. And I love the look of a rounded toe and not the little like triangle looking thing. So here, I mean, it's very blown out because the first color is like a white with like the palest of pink. So here's where I am on those. Yikes. Really pretty. I love that even on the white, there's like a tiny bit of speckle of pink sometimes. And because I lined them up, they both have a little pink seam on the bottom. Love it. So these are, as always, knit on US 1. And they're going to be for my roommate. So she is 64 stitches. So these will probably go a little bit faster because I'm not making them for me. So her foot's not as big as mine and it's not as many stitches. And so I'm really excited about that. So I was thinking when I cast these on that I was just going to do a pair of vanilla socks because I just want to see the stripes. But I don't have the pattern with me because I literally just decided this while I was sitting down to record this. I think I'm going to make a pair of the Zigzagular socks. I don't remember who the pattern's by, but I will definitely link it below. And remember to show it next time. I've made those socks a couple times before, and it's a top-down sock with a rolled cuff, rolled hem cuff, with a rolled cuff. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the pattern and work the pattern part of the front of the foot because it makes like little zigzags. I'm just going to work it in reverse. Like Missy Elliott, I'm going to flip it and reverse it. So I'm just going to work it in reverse, and then the top of the sock, I'll decide when I get there if I want to do the rolled hem or not, or just do like some ribbing or whatever. I'll ask her what she wants. They're going to be for her. So if it were me, I wouldn't care, but she might like the look of the roll top. So I'll ask her about those. I'm loving this so far. I just love the little bit of pink that's already showing, and I can't wait to get to that bright purple. That's going to be fun. So this is another pair of socks that I've cast on. Super excited about it. I know I've showed yarn for another pair of socks on here. And I want you all to know that it is in this room. It's caked up, it's in the room, and it's staring at me, judging me because I caked up something else and cast that on first. But I am going to get to it soon. And I know last time I showed that I wanted to start a Once in Floral sweater. This was taking up all my time, so I didn't even get to cake up that yarn yet. So I think what I'm gonna do is do that today. I have some errands to run, and then I'm probably gonna cake that up. So the next episode might be like all the whips. Just like so many whips. But we'll see. I have to look at my schedule for the week to see how busy I'm going to be, because none of this it might not even happen. Maybe I'm only working on those socks, and then I come here next week and I'm like, you all, this episode's going to be 2 minutes long. Here are these socks. I got to go. Peace. Have a great life. Hopefully that's not the case. And I have time to work on things. So my last little look. Oh, also I got that yarn from, wait, it's sitting right here actually. We have a table in this room, and I can just leave stuff on it, which is really awesome. By the Moonlight Studio, the orange, this yarn, and the orange and the gray, and someone had the nerve, which I thought was funny actually, to be like, oh, it's so funny that you love the color orange. I love orange too, but I never see you like use it. And I'm like, oh, that was a read a little bit. It's probably true. I don't knit with a lot of orange. Like I dyed this with, well, one of them with a friend and one of them with a friend's child. It was our science experiment. So I have used it, but I don't use it enough for myself, which we're going to change that. So I'm going to make those socks sometime soon too. And I thought it was funny. So the person, if you're watching, like, I'm not mad about it. I think it's hilarious. Anyway, I think that's it for this episode. My last thing is a little music recommendation for this episode. And because this person released a song recently, we're entering her season because it's coming up. I think by the time I record again, it will be out. So this week's music recommendation is Adele. And I'm throwing it back to 19, which was her first album. So that new song came out. Everyone's loving it. Everyone's listening to it because obviously Adele. And I was like, you know what? In preparation for her new album, let me go back and listen to her entire catalog, just like in order while I'm commuting. I got my entire life over the past couple days. It's been amazing. This album's so good. It's just really good. Like, listening back to it, I was like, oh my gosh, and I love this song. Oh my gosh, and I love that song. So I'm gonna recommend some like like radio played songs, I think. Yeah, that's not true. I think Daydreamer was on the radio. So Daydreamer, amazing. Best for Last. Oh, so good. First Love is amazing. And my fourth pick will be Hometown Glory. Honestly, just go and put this album on and get your whole life. Like, it's so good. I'm excited to hear what she's been cooking up for a while, especially since this album was supposed to come out last year, but the world had a moment. So yeah, get into Adele season. I'm also gonna link below, if you've never seen it, the SNL episode or like short where it's like the Adele Saves Thanksgiving or something like that. It's when 25 came out. It's so funny because everyone loves Adele. Hopefully everyone loves Adele. Everyone loves Adele. She's, how could you not? The accent, her goofiness, she's a good time. Her voice. Anyway, go check out Adele 19. Let me know if you have some favorite songs from it. Yeah, let's groove out. So I'll throw those into the Spotify playlist once I'm done recording here, and I'll open it up to make it collaborative. Remember, if you want to add songs in the playlist or on the playlist, feel free to, and then it'll be open for a week, and then I'll close it at the end of the first week from this going out. Other than that, if I've missed something or it's not linked below, please make sure that you ask me about it. I would love to let you know. And yeah, if this is your first time watching, or if you've watched for a bunch and you haven't done so yet, please feel free to do all that fun YouTube stuff like comment, subscribe. You can ring the bell too if you want to get notifications when I post episodes. And yeah, I think that's it for now. I hope all of you all are doing well, staying warm if it's cold where you are, or getting your spring on if you're somewhere where it's spring. And I will see you all in about 2 weeks. So until the next time, make a piece, spread some peace. Peace.